My name is Maddie Ellis, and I'm the University Desk Editor for the Daily Tar Heel.
My name is Maeve Sheehy. I'm the Enterprise Director at the Daily Tar Heel, and last year I was the University Editor.
My name is Sonia Rao. I'm the Daily Tar Heel City and State Editor.
I'm Anna Pagarchich, and I'm the Editor-in-Chief of the Daily Tar Heel.
I just remember being so shocked because earlier that month, we had been like, oh my goodness, what is coronavirus going to mean for UNC? Like, what's the worst that could happen? 2 weeks of quarantine, like, surely that's it. But seeing how intense it got was very scary.
We got an email saying that if students went to different states inside the US, they would probably have to quarantine when they got back. And that was really a shock to all of us, I think. That was when we realized, this might be bigger than we thought. And from there, everything just shut down.
My first thought when I get a campus email like that is, okay, what does this mean for my day tomorrow? What does this mean for my course schedule? But it's kind of hard. You have to put that on hold for a second in the moment, like in the heat of the breaking news moment. You have to put that on hold, and you have to think about what your readers and the students reading your articles need to hear most.
The biggest thing probably is that as a student reporter, we're kind of covering all this news, but then also going through the news itself at the same time. I think like one of my biggest memories from covering the pandemic is just last March when the COVID-19 shutdowns happened, and I remember like all this breaking news was happening, and I was just like sitting in my dorm room covering breaking news, but also like there are all these boxes like around me because I was packing all my stuff up to go home. And then like I did go home, and for the rest of that month, the next few months, it was just like this constant breaking of news and constant like barrage of news. But I was also like living through it.
So it was my day off. I was like sitting down reading a book, like finally like, oh yes, you survived this week. Things are going to be okay. And then I get an email from our managing editor, and he forwarded it to me, and it was the announcement of the first cluster. And it was at Ehringhaus Residence Hall. And I was like, here we go.
I think one of the biggest things for me, and this might just be my recency bias, but 2 weeks ago when the Duke game was happening for the first time when we played them over in Durham, a couple editors were here in the office, watching the game and also just being on call because we had some staffers who were out reporting on the street and stuff, and photographers, so we just had the office open for them to come and use. And when the game ended, a couple of us climbed up onto the roof of our office so we could, one, just like see if rush happened, and two, if it did, we could kind of watch it from afar. And I think that was the moment that really hit me for a lot of reasons. It was obviously really hard on an emotional level for them as well, but also just professionally, they were trying to do their job and photograph this moment, and they were frankly in danger by doing so. So working with them was just really hard for me personally, and just as their editor. But it was just a really salient moment because it underscored all the different ways that people are seeing this pandemic, and how we, especially as an institution, have to grapple with all those different perspectives in our coverage and make sure that we're still doing our job.
Well, something that they always told us in reporting classes and at the DTH was that you should really get out there and talk to your sources face to face if you can, and really observe things for yourself. So it's really hard to be locked up and know that you're not able to do that.
We normally do phone interviews. That's kind of just, as students, our schedules don't really allow us to drive places to meet people or have the time to go out and drive and interview people in person, but that's essentially impossible now. Which makes it difficult when you're trying to do very personal stories like features or things like that. And especially if you are covering things like the town, or if you're covering sports, you want to be able to go to those events in person.
It also made us get creative with sourcing. Like, we used social media a lot more to reach out to people. And I think that actually helped us talk to people who we might not have been able to otherwise.
I think the way we report and the stories that we cover have changed a lot because of the pandemic. For one, we're trying really hard to be a source of news for frequently asked questions and like things that people are confused about. I also think that because of COVID, we've had to transition digitally a lot. So we're printing less, but that also means we're focusing more on multimedia and digital coverage. And yeah, I think it's really changed the way that we think about our reporting.